I'm 94. I live alone. And these 5 simple habits changed my life. I wake up every morning to the quiet hum of my little house, the sunlight spilling softly through the curtains. At 94 years old, living alone, I have learned to cherish these first hours more than anything else. There's a stillness in the world before it fully awakens. And in that stillness, I find a rhythm that keeps me healthier than people half my age. Most people see age and immediately think of weakness, frailty, and dependence. They imagine a life of struggle, of doctor's appointments and endless medications. But I have discovered something different. Longevity is not just about the years you count. It's about the habits that honor your body, your mind, and your spirit each morning. The simple rituals that set the tone for everything that follows. Living alone has taught me resilience. There is freedom in caring for oneself, in knowing that the choices I make each day belong entirely to me. Every sunrise is an invitation to practice patience, gratitude, and intention. It's in these early hours that I stretch my body, nourish myself, focus my mind, and reach quietly outward to the world around me. These are the habits that protect my health, sharpen my mind, and warm my heart, even when no one else is watching. I know many of you may think thriving at 94, living alone, is impossible. Yet here I am, walking with strength, thinking clearly, smiling freely. It's not magic, nor luck, nor a secret medicine. It's a life built on mindful mornings, on choices that celebrate being alive rather than fearing age. Today, I want to share the 5 morning habits that have become the backbone of my vitality, habits that any of us can embrace, no matter our age. These mornings have become my sanctuary. They remind me that health is not a number, and independence is not lost with years. Every ritual, every moment of care, and every small connection I make sets the stage for a day filled with strength, clarity, and joy. Let me take you into my mornings and show you how life, even at 94, can be vibrant, fulfilling, and brimming with energy. Number 1. Rise with the sun and honor your body. The first thing I do every morning is rise with the sun. I don't mean the time the alarm tells me. It's the moment when the sky begins to lighten, when the shadows of night slowly retreat, and the world whispers that it's ready to begin again. At 94, living alone, I have learned that this quiet, gentle awakening is not just a routine. It is a ritual, a way of honoring the body that has carried me through nearly a century of life. There's something profoundly grounding about stepping into the day with natural light on your face. The sun isn't just a clock. It's a healer, a reminder that life continues in cycles, that each day is a fresh opportunity. When I expose my eyes and skin to those early rays, I feel a warmth that goes deeper than muscle or bone. It's a comfort, a signal to my body that it is time to wake, to stretch, and to prepare for the hours ahead. My circadian rhythm, the internal clock that keeps everything in balance, thrives on this connection to light. Sleep becomes deeper, energy flows more steadily, and my mood carries a brightness that artificial light could never replicate. Rising with the sun also gives me a sense of control over my own life. Independence is a treasure, but it comes with responsibility, especially when living alone. There is no one to wake me, no one to demand my attention before I'm ready. The day begins because I choose it to begin, and that choice itself is empowering. The simple act of standing, stretching, and opening a window to let sunlight and fresh air in feels like a declaration. I am here, I am alive, I am ready. I remember the early years of living alone, when mornings felt long and uncertain. The house was silent, sometimes too silent, and I would linger in bed, unsure how to start. But slowly, I discovered that stepping outside even for a few minutes and greeting the sunrise could transform my entire day. There is clarity in the cool morning air, a stillness that clears the mind of yesterday's worries and tomorrow's anxiety. It's a moment to connect with something larger than myself, to witness life continuing beyond the walls of my home. Physically, rising with the sun sets a tone of vitality. I feel my joints loosening, my heart adjusting, my lungs filling more deeply with each breath. Morning light encourages movement, even gentle stretching or a slow walk around the yard. Vitamin D flows naturally into my system, strengthening bones and supporting immunity, a gift I can give myself without supplements or pills. These few minutes outside become a shield, a daily reinforcement of the strength that has carried me to 94. Mentally, the benefits are just as profound. There is a quiet clarity that comes with beginning the day without rush or noise. Thoughts settle more easily, emotions feel lighter, and gratitude becomes tangible. I often take this time to breathe deeply, reflect briefly, and simply be. In those moments, I realize that rising early isn't about productivity, it's about presence. It's about honoring the life I have, the choices I've made, and the body that continues to carry me forward. Emotionally, this ritual reminds me of resilience. The world has changed countless times in my lifetime, and I have adapted to every challenge. Rising with the sun each day is a reminder that I am still here, still able to witness, still capable of joy and strength. It's a quiet victory over loneliness, over the aches of age, over the whispering fears that come with living alone. Each sunrise is a promise that I am not merely surviving. I am living fully, intentionally, with a heart that still feels deeply. So the first habit that sustains my health and happiness is simple yet profound. Rise with the sun, honor your body, and step into the day with intention. These early hours when the world is soft and quiet are not wasted. They are the foundation of everything else that follows. The movement, the nourishment, the mental focus, and the connection that fill my days. At 94, this ritual has become sacred, and I can say with confidence that it keeps me healthier, stronger, and more alive than most people half my age. Number 2, gentle movement before anything else. After greeting the sun and letting its early warmth wash over me, the next habit I embrace is gentle movement. I do not speak of running marathons or lifting heavy weights. Those are for the young, or at least for those whose bodies still demand speed and strength. At 94, living alone, I have discovered that the body's grace lies not in power, but in fluidity, in the simple act of keeping muscles and joints awake, flexible, and honored. Each morning I begin with stretches, slowly reaching my arms overhead, bending gently from side to side, and loosening the stiffness that often settles overnight. There is no rush, no competition with time, no judgment for what I cannot do. Each movement is a conversation with my body, a way of listening to what it needs, of offering it patience and care. I sometimes close my eyes, feeling the muscles awaken, feeling the pulse of life flowing through limbs that have carried me through nearly a century. I also incorporate light exercises, such as Tai Chi or gentle yoga. These movements are deliberate, graceful, and deeply meditative. They cultivate balance, which becomes more essential with age, and enhance coordination, helping prevent falls. There is an elegance in moving slowly, in feeling the earth beneath your feet, the rhythm of your breath, and the subtle energy that courses through every sinew. I have learned that my body remembers what I teach it daily. By honoring it each morning, I strengthen the muscles that support independence, the joints that allow freedom, and the heart that beats steadily with each deliberate motion. Movement is not only physical, it is profoundly emotional. I often feel a surge of gratitude and confidence after these routines, a sense that my body is a friend rather than a burden. Loneliness can creep in quietly when you live alone, but movement combats it with a tangible reminder. I am still capable. My body still responds. I still have the strength to stand tall, to walk to the window, to carry myself with dignity. In these moments, I feel alive in a way that no chair, no medication, and no distraction could ever replicate. There have been mornings when my joints ached and my muscles felt weak, when the very idea of moving seemed daunting. Those mornings tested my resolve, but I learned to begin gently, to respect the limitations while pushing ever so slightly, and to celebrate even the smallest victories. A bend, a stretch, a slow turn of the torso became triumphs in their own right. Over the years, this consistency built resilience. The movements may be small, but the effects are monumental. Improved circulation, stronger bones, reduced stiffness, and a body that feels more alive than it did decades earlier. The mind also benefits from this ritual. As I flow through my exercises, I feel clarity and calm settle in. Thoughts organize themselves, anxieties soften, and a quiet focus takes hold. It is a form of meditation in motion, a way to prepare not just the body but the spirit for the day ahead. I have noticed that on days I skip this routine, I feel sluggish, distracted, and less capable. Gentle movement awakens both the physical and mental faculties, bridging the connection between body, mind, and heart. Emotionally, these morning movements remind me of my autonomy. Living alone, there are challenges in caring for oneself, but also profound satisfaction. Every step, every stretch, every graceful turn is a statement. I am in charge of my health. I am choosing life, vitality and joy over passivity. The body remembers dedication, and the spirit rejoices in the partnership we maintain through these simple, intentional actions. Even now, I am reminded daily that age is not an enemy. It is an opportunity to honor the vessel that has carried me through decades of experiences, triumphs, and lessons. Gentle movement before anything else is my declaration that I will not surrender to frailty. I will meet the day with strength, patience, and reverence for the life that continues to flow through me. It is this ritual, repeated morning after morning, that keeps me standing tall, moving freely, and living with a vitality that often surprises those half my age. Number 3. Nourishing breakfast for body and soul. Once my body has awakened through sunlight and gentle movement, I turn to nourishment. Breakfast is not merely a meal, it is a celebration of life, a ritual that feeds more than hunger. At 94, living alone, I have come to understand that how I begin the day on my plate reflects how I approach the day in spirit. It is a moment of gratitude, a pause to honor the body that has carried me through nearly a century. I prepare my breakfast slowly, mindfully, with ingredients that are simple yet potent. Whole grains, a bit of protein, and healthy fats form the foundation. A bowl of oatmeal with fresh fruit, a spoon of nut butter, sometimes eggs or yogurt. These are the building blocks of energy, supporting muscles, heart, and brain alike. I have learned over the years that rushing through meals leaves the body and mind wanting. Eating mindfully, savoring every flavor, every texture, becomes a form of meditation, grounding me in the present and strengthening my sense of well-being. The emotional component of breakfast cannot be overstated. Living alone can sometimes feel isolating, and these quiet mornings can be both serene and stark. But when I prepare and enjoy my food with attention and care, the act itself becomes a source of joy. I see colors in the fruits, the sheen of fresh eggs, the warmth rising from my tea or coffee, and I feel alive. The world beyond my kitchen fades momentarily, leaving only the nourishing ritual in front of me. These moments feed my soul as much as my body. There is a practical side to this ritual as well. Consistent, nutritious breakfasts help regulate energy, maintain stable blood sugar, and support cognitive function. At my age, these benefits are not theoretical. They are tangible. I feel lighter, more focused, and stronger throughout the morning. By prioritizing foods that heal and sustain, I give myself the tools to thrive rather than simply survive. Breakfast becomes armor, a protective layer that supports my independence. I also take a moment during this time to set intentions for the day. Sometimes I reflect on a simple gratitude list, a neighbor who smiled yesterday, a phone call I will make, the birds that sing outside my window. Other times I mentally prepare for tasks that await me, whether paying bills, tending the garden, or calling a friend. Nourishing my body and nourishing my mind happen simultaneously, each enhancing the other. By eating with awareness, I remind myself that my days are precious, my choices meaningful, and my health a responsibility I honor every morning. There have been mornings when I did not feel hungry, when preparing food seemed like a chore, and yet I persevered. I discovered that the act of breakfast itself, not just the food, revitalizes me. It signals that I am caring for myself, that I am prioritizing my health, and that I am capable of enjoying simple pleasures even in solitude. The scent of warm oats, the sweetness of fresh fruit, the ritual of stirring tea. It all becomes a small but profound celebration of life continuing in my hands. Emotionally, this practice reinforces independence and self-worth. Eating well, even alone, is an affirmation. I am worthy of care. I am capable of providing for myself, and my body deserves sustenance. Over decades, this ritual has woven itself into the fabric of my health, giving me energy, resilience, and a deep sense of joy that carries me well into the morning. Breakfast, prepared and savored with attention and gratitude, is not just food. It is medicine, meditation, and celebration. It is the habit that feeds the body, uplifts the spirit, and strengthens the mind. It is in these mornings, with a simple bowl and a mindful heart, that I cultivate vitality that rivals people half my age. This nourishment sustains not just life, but the quality of life, enabling me to face the day with clarity, strength, and joy. Number 4, mental warm-up and intentional focus. After nourishing my body, I turn inward to the mind and spirit. At 94, living alone, I have learned that mornings are not complete without a mental warm-up, a deliberate practice that sharpens focus, calms anxiety, and centers me for the day ahead. The mind, much like the body, benefits from gentle, consistent exercise. Without it, even the strongest body can feel weak, and the brightest heart can feel lost in the day's noise. I begin with quiet reflection. Sometimes it is prayer, sometimes meditation, sometimes simply sitting in the sunlight and listening to the world. I allow my thoughts to settle, noticing without judgment, and gently steering them toward clarity and calm. This is not a rush of resolutions or to-do lists. It is a soft awakening, a deliberate alignment of mind, body, and spirit. In these moments, I feel a peace that carries through the entire day, a reminder that my inner world is as vital as my outer routine. Journaling is another pillar of this practice. I write a few lines each morning. Gratitude for yesterday's small victories, observations about the world, reflections on the lessons life has taught me. These words are a bridge connecting my past with my present, a testament to a life well lived and a mind still engaged. Writing sharpens memory, strengthens cognition, and allows me to process emotions that might otherwise linger unresolved. It is a practice that keeps the mind nimble, flexible, and capable of absorbing new experiences even at my age. Reading is yet another tool. I choose materials that inspire, challenge, or teach. Sometimes it's a passage of poetry, sometimes a brief chapter in history, sometimes reflections on philosophy or spirituality. This exercise awakens curiosity, a sense of wonder, and the thrill of learning. a reminder that age is not a barrier to growth. It strengthens reasoning, broadens perspective, and enriches the inner life. The brain, like any muscle, thrives on gentle but consistent engagement, and I have seen the benefits of this practice in my clarity of thought, problem-solving ability, and resilience. Mental focus also involves intention setting. Each morning, I visualize the day ahead, not as a rigid schedule, but as a series of meaningful choices. I remind myself of the values that guide me: kindness, patience, resilience, curiosity, and joy. These intentions act as a compass, helping me navigate decisions, interactions, and challenges with purpose and clarity. Even small tasks, watering the plants, calling a friend, organizing my home, become infused with mindfulness when approached intentionally. The act of focusing the mind is both empowering and grounding, reminding me that independence thrives not only in the body, but in clarity of thought and purpose. Emotionally, this habit combats loneliness and uncertainty. Living alone, it is easy to feel adrift, to be pulled by worry or isolation. By dedicating time each morning to center myself, I anchor in stability. I acknowledge fears without letting them control me. I nurture hope without clinging to illusions, and I strengthen resilience without denying vulnerability. This practice is a gift I give myself daily, a sanctuary of calm and clarity that prepares me for whatever challenges or joys the day may bring. Over the years, I have noticed that when I skip this mental warm-up, even for a single morning, the day feels heavier, less connected, and more stressful. Conversely, when I commit to it consistently, I feel lighter, more alert, and more capable. My memory feels sharper, my decisions clearer, and my heart more open. This ritual reinforces the truth I have discovered over decades. Age is not a limitation when the mind is engaged, intentional, and nurtured. Mental warm-up and intentional focus are the anchors of my mornings. They allow me to navigate the complexities of life alone, with clarity, strength, and peace. They are the bridge between the body I care for, the nourishment I provide, and the life I continue to live fully. At 94, this practice keeps me alert, resilient, and vibrant, proving that wisdom, clarity, and mental vitality are cultivated, not inherited. Number 5. Connection with the world, even while alone. Even after nurturing my body, feeding myself, and centering my mind, I know that living fully means staying connected to the world, even while living alone. At 94, it can be tempting to retreat, to let isolation become a comfortable companion. But I have learned that connection, however small, however brief, is a lifeline. It feeds the soul, strengthens the heart, and keeps the spirit vibrant in ways that no amount of exercise or nourishment alone can provide. My mornings often include reaching out to others in some way. A simple phone call to a friend or family member, a note to a neighbor, or even a wave to someone passing by in the street becomes a ritual of engagement. These small gestures remind me that I am not invisible, that I am part of a larger world, and that my presence, however quiet, matters. The sense of belonging and purpose that comes from these connections is immeasurable. It combats the loneliness that sometimes accompanies living alone and replaces it with warmth and shared humanity. There is also the connection to the broader rhythms of life, listening to the morning news, observing the changes in seasons, watching birds flutter across the yard, or hearing children's laughter in the distance. Even without another human in the house, these moments create a tapestry of life that keeps me attuned to the world. I take note of small joys, a neighbor's blooming garden, the crispness of autumn air, the quiet snowfall that blankets the street. These observations are not trivial. They are the threads that weave me into the fabric of existence, reminding me that life continues around me, and I continue with it. Emotionally, staying connected keeps my heart open. Living alone, it can be easy to turn inward, to focus solely on routines and survival. But reaching outward, even in small ways, nurtures empathy, compassion, and it reminds me that I am not just maintaining my own life. I am influencing and participating in the lives of others. I have found that laughter shared, advice given, or even a friendly conversation energizes me in ways no solitary activity can. It is the antidote to OSIT, a vital element of maintaining health, vitality, and emotional resilience. I also keep up with community involvement whenever possible. I volunteer where I can, participate in local clubs, or write letters to friends near and far. Even brief interactions, smiles exchanged, greetings offered, carry immense significance. These connections maintain a sense of purpose and ensure that life remains rich and meaningful, even without constant companionship at home. At 94, purpose is as essential as food, water, or exercise. It is the invisible force that sustains vitality and fortifies resilience against the challenges of age. There are mornings when I feel tired, when calling or engaging seems like an effort. But I remind myself that connection is a gift to others and to myself. It nurtures both the giver and receiver, strengthens the heart, and reinforces the truth that we are never truly alone. Small gestures, sustained consistently, build a network of presence and energy that carries me through days that might otherwise feel empty or lonely. By cultivating connection, I have discovered a surprising vitality. My heart remains responsive, my emotions vibrant, and my mind enriched by the shared human experience. Living alone does not mean living disconnected. Through calls, visits, and quiet observation, I remain part of the world, contributing to it and drawing strength from it simultaneously. This habit, perhaps more than any other, reinforces the lesson that life, no matter the age, is meant to be experienced in dialogue with others, with nature, and with the currents of life moving beyond the walls of my home. Connection keeps me alive in ways that food, sunlight, or movement cannot fully achieve alone. It is the thread that ties me to purpose, joy, and meaning, ensuring that every morning is not just a repetition of habits, but a continuation of a life fully engaged. At 94, living alone, this ritual keeps my spirit as strong as my body, my mind as sharp as my heart, and my days as rich and vibrant as they have ever been. Conclusion. The heart of longevity. These 5 morning habits, rising with the sun, gentle movement, nourishing breakfast, mental warm-up, and connection with the world, are more than routines. They are a declaration of life, a practice of care, and a daily affirmation of vitality. At 94, living alone, I have learned that health and happiness are cultivated with intention, patience, and love for oneself. Age is not a limitation. It is a landscape rich with opportunity. Each sunrise, each stretch, each meal, each reflection, and each connection builds a foundation of resilience, strength, and purpose. These habits are the secret to living fully, to thriving independently, and to maintaining a vibrancy that surprises and inspires. I want you to remember this. No matter your age or circumstances, the mornings you choose to honor yourself shape the days, months, and years ahead. Independence is not merely surviving, it is embracing life with gratitude, clarity, and joy. By caring for your body, nurturing your mind, and staying connected to the world, you create a life that is not measured in numbers, but in the richness of experience, the strength of spirit, and the depth of your heart. So rise with intention, move with gratitude, eat with mindfulness, focus with clarity, connect with love. These are the choices that keep you alive, alert, and thriving. No matter how many years have passed, At 94, I can tell you this: living alone does not mean living small. It means living fully, fiercely, and beautifully. One mindful morning at a time.